that spikes the microphones in both.
Oh, I didn't. I should have looked to see if it did, but I didn't.
Hello. Welcome to your intervention.
That is what it feels like. Perfect. I don't remember how we started this episode. How the last one. To know, like, oh, should we do the same thing every time? I don't really remember what we did.
We didn't really. I cut that at the beginning out of the first one. Actually, you didn't even notice that I cut like the first 5 minutes.
I haven't listened to it.
She doesn't watch her programming.
She doesn't watch her programming.
You know how many times I watched it?
I'm pulling a Sam Riegel and by not watching any of our stuff.
I probably watched it with editing, both of them. I probably watched it 20 plus times.
Oh, I would think so, based on just how long it takes to edit
And then
stuff.
I also watched it on YouTube and also on Spotify to make sure they both look good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I had intended to watch on YouTube, but then I spent the last 12 hours listening to all the vampire games.
Oh, that's true.
To get caught up on that.
That
so
cast recorded for you?
Yeah, so then I kept forgetting to actually turn it on. So
I think you started the other one with like, welcome back, but then we hadn't done one before.
We hadn't started
and then
yet.
I cut that out because it was like a weird, awkward pause right after it, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Cut. So, welcome back, actually, this time.
It's true. We've done this once before.
We have.
Whether you saw it or not, it did happen.
It does exist on the internet somewhere. We have plans this time of what to talk about, kind of.
We do, more or less. We're the Five-Sided Fates. I feel obligated to introduce ourselves every time. I think that's what you're supposed to do.
Put that right here.
I'm Casey.
I'm Jerry, and I don't sound disappointed about it this time.
I don't think you have. I believe you that you sounded disappointed last time. I can only see myself in the viewfinder looking like the guy from Santa Claus. Because I'm wearing a hat.
Oh, because you're wearing a little beret.
The guy with the curly hair.
Bernard?
Bernard, dream cosplay, honestly.
You should.
That's big little lad energy.
Who should I cosplay from that movie?
From Santa Claus?
Yeah.
There's gotta be a other elf.
Is there a busty elf I can be?
I don't know if there's a busty one. I think they're all adjacently children.
It's not one hot elf. There's always like one hot elf.
Yeah, it's Bernard.
Okay, I believe you. I'm not into little lads. Little lads isn't.
Can't relate.
I'm into really skinny twinks, but not with little lad energy.
There's overlap.
There is some overlap, but not as much. I'm into scrunkly little guys, not little guys. Yeah.
But okay, so but Timothée Chalamet is the Venn diagram of those two categories.
He's too Victorian boy for me.
He's not okay. So what is scrunkly then? If Victorian boy, if not,
I don't know. His bone structure too sharp.
Okay.
There's like a.
I feel like bell scrunkly not sharp.
No.
It's not pointy.
No.
Okay.
Not to me.
So give me one scrunkly man.
I only like Henry Cavill as The Witcher.
Okay, is that scrunkly? I feel like he's just conventionally hot,
but not as like Superman. I have no interest.
I haven't seen him as Superman enough to like, but I've watched The Witcher, and
he's just
he is
a guy.
very hot. He has long hair as The Witcher, though.
Yeah,
and that is the
only
way mentioned.
I don't know something about Timothée Chalamet. I just not vibing with.
Okay,
I don't know. It's not my type.
Timothée Chalamet is my type, as in I want to be Timothée Chalamet, not as in I want to date him. I want to be Wonka, and I want to be Paul from Dune.
I made you buy a Willy Wonka hat once, and I've yet to see you wear a Willy Wonka outfit.
I wore it on Halloween, but I do need to wear a full
I was not here.
Willy Wonka outfit.
Where was I? I was in Houston.
You were on a beach?
That was the year before.
Oh, okay.
Did you wear it that year? I don't know.
No, I wore it this past year. Anyway, none of this has anything to do with what we were talking about today.
Timothée Chalamet exists.
He's a real person.
He's a real guy. He doesn't look like a real guy, though. He looks like a made-up anime character.
I guess a little bit.
Yeah. Bone structure, unhuman.
Sure. Do we want to talk about Fate stuff first before we talk about content? Or do we want to talk about content and then at the end talk about Fate stuff?
We can talk about Fate stuff at the end.
Okay.
So that way if I need to cut it for time, then we're not.
Okay. Sure.
No one cares.
Great.
I want to interrogate you about your problem.
That's
why it's an intervention.
Oh, we're starting with that and not with the other thing? Oh, okay, great. Yeah. We'd love to talk about my problem.
How many playlists do you have and why? Tell me the deep dark secrets of why your brain works that way.
So I think I'm over 270 playlists on Spotify, as in playlists that I've personally curated, not ones that I've just hearted from other people. I've a handful of those too, but personally I have made like 270. And some of those playlists are 9 hours long and some of them are like
25 hours long?
1 hour long. Oh, and 25, I guess, as well the other way. It all started in the magical world of mix CDs.
Even though you're barely old enough for mix CDs.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I used to record music on a boombox off the radio onto a cassette. I did that like one time. Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day. Very vividly remember trying to like wait for that to come on the radio so I could put it on a cassette.
I had so many mix tapes of just like, you could hear the DJ for like a second before and a
Yes,
second after.
That's
and,
exactly
like,
how my Green Day one was. But yeah, I grew up in a mixed CD heavy family. My brother made tons and tons of mixed CDs. I still have most of them in a CD case in the trunk of my car. And so we were always, doing that. And then what happened is that Christmas that I made all of you guys my like Christmas mix CD of like my top Christmas
and then we're
songs.
like, hey, none of us have anything that plays CDs anymore. My car doesn't play CD. I don't own a single thing in my house that plays a CD.
And it like broke my heart, realizing that, because like before that I had been making mix CDs for like my boyfriend at the time and other people, and then we had really just, I guess, reached a point in society where mix CDs had become, like, I knew they were infrequent, but I didn't realize CD players had become so obsolete at that point, because like, I drive a lot of old cars. My car still has a 6 CD changer in it. So I was unaware that, I knew like, oh, computers don't have disc readers really anymore, but the average person still surely has a CD player in their car.
Nope.
It was no longer true. And so I was like, what do I do? Because I really enjoy curating mix CDs, and that's when I discovered Spotify, I guess. I didn't really use Spotify before that a whole lot. I didn't have premium or anything, so I was just...
Do you still not have premium?
No, I do now.
Okay.
We have like a family plan.
Okay.
And so then I put like the first 2 or 3 mix CDs I was like currently working on at that time onto Spotify.
I
So
have your
those are
Christmas one on Spotify.
Yes, I think I ended up, or maybe you put it all
Yeah,
on
I think
there,
I did.
and we're like, I'm just gonna put it on Spotify for you, and I'm like, oh, I didn't think about that. And so my first few on Spotify are like the mix CDs I was working on at the time, and then probably for the first year of Spotify, every playlist I had was only mix CD length, because I was really just using Spotify to like curate the 20 to 22 songs that would fit on a CD, and then I would go burn them onto a CD. And so for the first little bit, all the playlists were just like, what, an hour long, an hour and a half long, however long a mix CD worth is. And then when it kind of became clear that I wasn't making a lot more mix CDs, plus our computer that used to burn the CDs broke, and I don't have access to making mix CDs anymore.
It's still just sitting in there on a shelf as a
It
relic
is. It
of
hasn't
the
gone
past.
anywhere. It's just sitting
so
there.
dusty.
So dusty. So then I kind of just fully committed to only making playlists, and they got progressively longer and longer because I just kept being able to add more categorically. So, do you have any other interrogating questions? How else would you like me to explain this?
I don't know. Like, when you
me,
started making
to me,
them for...
it seems reasonable, right?
Yeah,
Like, that is something
but
that
that
I've
was
always
never
done.
I was like the heathens that I call them now that have just like one, like, here's all my liked songs, and like that's what I lived with. And then I was like, I didn't even think about making playlists like you do. And then your naming conventions changed my life, and I feel like I would never go back to naming things anything normal ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think because I grew up in, and I had like an MP3 player that we would put songs on, and there was no categories on that. It was just like every
here's
song
all the
was
songs
just
in
on there, and you
alphabetical order.
played in shuffle pretty much exclusively. But I think because I had such like a mixed CD, that's why I was building the playlist, because I was constructing them for that purpose. So I just kept categorizing. I actually have 0 liked songs on Spotify. I've never put a single song in the liked thing, because that's not real. I kind of wish I had.
It's not real.
I kind of wish I had liked every song that's on every playlist I have, so I could have kind of a master list, so I would just know like how many songs total exist across all my playlists. But I didn't start that 4 years ago, and I'm not going to start now. It would take way too much time. And so instead I just categorize them. I feel like you said something else that I was gonna...
Oh, you think I remember what I said?
Oh,
No.
about the naming conventions.
Yeah.
So,
that's where I got first time I got in your car and saw on your your 6 CD changer is Kim Kardashian's Fantasy Wedding Cake. And I was like, what CD is this? Like, what does this have to do with anything?
Yeah, that was the name of the mix that I had made.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with the mix, like, really?
Fantasy adjacent. It's the kind of music I think Kim Kardashian would listen to if she had a fantasy-themed wedding. And the wedding cake was the boombox, obviously. That's clearly the only way to interpret.
There's a lot of plot into this playlist that...
I don't really have a good explanation. I don't know if this is true or not, I think that is a quote said by Taliesin Jaffe in an episode of Critical Role. I think that is why I have that written in the notes section of my phone. I legitimately think from like campaign 1, Taliesin Jaffe said Kim Kardashian's Fantasy Wedding Cake. I might be misremembering that.
I'm gonna have to now scour the internet to
but
find...
I think that's why I have those words. In my brain, that's why that phrase exists.
It's Taliesin Jaffe's fault.
I think it's Taliesin Jaffe's fault. But I have a note section in my phone that is just mix CD title potentials. And every time I hear anything that I think is funny enough to be a mix CD title, I add it. And so sometimes when I'm creating a mix, I go dig through there and I find a title that fits. And then sometimes I just know when I build the playlist,
I feel like
it needs a adjacent title to this, depending on whatever. But that all began also because of my brother, because he was making mix CDs, and for a while his mix CDs were just called like Cross's Custom number 1, number 2, number 3, very like now that's what I call music style. Yeah. And then one time he named one the Painted Buffalo. And I don't know why.
It sounds like...
And I never asked him.
Sounds like a clothing boutique in like a small southern town.
Yeah. And so
has
for some
really
reason,
ugly clothes.
For some reason he named a mix CD that, and I had the same epiphany of like, oh, we should be naming our mix CDs funnier stuff. And so then we started naming them like goofy, silly things, going back and forth, because we were both burning CDs on the same computer, so we would just like see each other's titles and then also make weird, like I had burned the CD for Catra, which was called Applesauce Meow Meow, because that's Catra's full name is Catra Applesauce Meow Meow. And so then Cross saw that when he went to do his next thing, and he named his like apple spelled wrong, souse spelled wrong, now. He like just named it something really weird. He's like, I saw your playlist was named something weird I didn't understand. So I named mine something even weirder that made less sense. And I was like, perfect. So.
And then I saw that, and I just, every playlist now just has just the most unhinged name I can think of that makes sense for. But I only make playlists really for my D&D characters.
Yeah, which...
I don't really make vibe ones like you do, or themed ones.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely love, if you're not making playlists for your D&D or / any of your OCs that you have, you should be, because...
That's what we're here to tell you. Make playlists.
Yeah, you should be making more playlists, is definitely the idea.
So it's like a really weird way to connect with your character.
Mm-hmm.
And I listen to it every time we play, like the day before, that's like all I'm listening to is whatever character's playlist.
Yeah, I think it can really get you in the mindset of your character, especially if you have a few songs that are like really impactful to your character, like they mean something really deeply, then you can kind of re-listen to those again, and that will help you like re-remember, especially like if something really crazy happens. A lot of my D&D characters have 4 to 5 playlists as like the campaign goes on.
Insane.
Because a major event will happen, and it's like, well, now I have to start a new playlist because, now their opinions have changed on some things, or their, relationships with different people have changed. And so then you can see their development as you go on based on the different music they listen to. Or sometimes it's just, songs they would know, or I don't know. It is some form of autism, I guess. I really like to I think it's the putting things in categories.
Because you have like...
Which I don't really do in a lot of other realms, but I definitely
You have playlists that are just like days of, like songs with days of the week in them, or songs with numbers in them, or like random stuff with, I don't know, just...
The rule is 3. Once I find a third song that fits in the category, then I start a playlist with those 3 songs. Like, we were in the car talking about the car crash song, and I was like, I know 2 songs about car crashes, so it's not enough. And you said, I know a song about a car crash.
Oh, yeah.
And that made the 3rd song, so I immediately went and made a car crash playlist with those 3 songs in it.
What song did I give you about car crashes? Was it Sunsets and Car Crashes?
Probably, yeah, that might have been
Spill Canvas song?
Yeah, I think it was Spill Canvas. So that's what most of it starts as, and then I either become hyper-focused on filling it with as many songs as possible, and I'll sit for like a week straight and only just like go through as many Spotify. I have the Oddly Specific Playlists Facebook group.
Oh, yeah,
That
I've
is
seen some of
just
those.
people who also post about like, hey, I'm looking for songs about this, and then you'll have like hundreds of comments of people giving you ideas.
And you're like, ha ha ha, more for my collection.
Yes, and then I'll steal from other people, or sometimes I'll even post and say, hey, I'm looking for something like
songs
this.
about volcanoes.
Songs about volcanoes, and then they'll give me a lot of volcano songs, and I can make my volcano playlist good. So,
what's your volcano playlist called?
Tragedy Candle.
A good name.
Yeah.
All I remember was like, when the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's the best name for a playlist about volcanoes.
Yeah, I think it's also like the writer in me. I'm a many words boy, as we all know, so I really love to name things. Like, I think my dream job would be to name scents at Bath and Body Works.
But also you have like no sense of smell. How would you do that?
They don't have a sense of smell either based on some of these titles. Are you kidding me?
That's true.
So, or like paint swatches. I think that would be a fun
good,
job
yeah.
too. I would love to just name arbitrary things for no reason. So I feel like naming playlist kind of feels like the same thing. You kind of just get to throw things out there. So you get like really silly things like that. And
what was your first character that you made a playlist for?
I think it was Leza.
That was your first one?
I mean, let's consult
the
the
internet.
archives.
This is whenever I do a transition.
I'll go to my D&D folder. I think the first one is for a character that never
Happened?
existed. I feel like it's got, like, Leza was the first character I played, like, realistically, like, full time, so I had made her a much longer playlist. So I feel like that has to be the first one. Because we were playing that campaign before the campaign I didn't play with lore of vampire, I believe.
Yes, we were.
Yes, because that's what these playlists are for her. So I believe it was Leza. And
what are her playlist names? Tell the people.
So the folder for that campaign is called Sorry I Killed Your Parents, because we never came up with a party name.
That's true, we did never.
I just named it that. If you know, you know. And her first playlist was called Dream Druid, because she was a Circle of Dreams Druid. And then I made a Memento Mori playlist, because when it was revealed that her real name was Mori, and that she had this whole past of being an assassin, and she was named after Memento Mori.
Killed my parents.
Yeah, after she killed your character's parents. So then I made a playlist that was her backstory before the campaign. I made that. And then I have most of my characters have a possible future character playlist, which is like songs that could apply to them in the future if certain things happen. Because sometimes I'll hear a song and think,
like, maybe
this could be the vibe, but it's not right now. So that's why I have a possible future Leza. And then I have a playlist called What is Leza Gonna Do? Trying to think the context.
Were you thinking about leaving the party? After Leza and Arkan fight?
It might have been after I was like trying to decide if I was going to tell you or not tell you, or I did tell you and then it ended badly. I had that, and then I have Nightmare Druid instead of Dream Druid, because that was after I murdered a woman by casting Dream on her over and over again until she died.
Underrated.
Yeah, let's actually talk about the Dream spell really fast.
We're gonna talk about the Dream spell.
Side thing.
I love this spell.
If you are not using Dream in your game of D&D, you're wrong. You're really sleeping on it, because I think mechanically, when you look at Dream, you think, and Dream is a spell where
Dream is a spell. I'll put it here somewhere.
You can go into people's dreams, and you can either choose to be yourself or someone else, and you can also choose to give them a nightmare if they roll bad enough.
On a wisdom save.
Some physical or some psychic damage.
Yeah, and then they don't get a long rest.
They don't get the effects of a long rest. And so, all you have to do is dream them every single night over and over again, and if you continue to succeed on that roll, they continue to not get rest, and after 6 days in a row of that, they die of exhaustion.
That was also with the old exhaustion rules.
That was 2014 rules, which I don't know if the 2020... Can you die of exhaustion in 2024?
I don't know.
I haven't looked at it enough.
Yeah, we don't. But
that's what I did. We needed to kill a woman that we didn't really know where she was, and so we were all trying to figure out, like, a plan on how to get there, and I was like, I have this spell. It's kind of part of my subclass as being a druid. What if I just did that? And so then, like, every night for 6 nights in a row, I verbally described the horrific nightmares I gave this woman.
Became so scared of you for, like, a little bit. I was like, is this what's in your head sometimes? Because that stuff was messed up.
It was.
And I was like, oh, don't make her mad. She'll hurt you at your core.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it worked.
It did.
It did. We killed this woman this way, which was crazy. So then I named a playlist Nightmare Druid, which was really just like all the songs about her being a monster. Obviously, the song Choke by I don't know how they found me, but they did, because one of the dreams was about her brother burning and turning into ash and her choking on the ash.
Oh yeah, I think that was the one where I went, okay, bye.
It's real intense. So I have a whole playlist of like nightmare songs and how she's a terrible person, which she already had a lot of thoughts about her being terrible, because she had spent 400 years as a murderer, blah blah blah. Then I have a playlist that's just called Before June 28th, 2021. So clearly that was songs I found specifically before something happened, and I'm trying to look at the songs on here to see if I can figure out what exactly it meant. I mean, it's songs like No Saving Me and I Will Fail You. So it has to be...
That might have been when you told us you killed our parents.
Maybe? And then I have Platonic Soulmates, which is the playlist for her and her now husband. At the time, they were not married when I made this playlist. But that was the final playlist I made, which was after we had reconnected with Orion, and the two of them were... She was... in her mind, they were not on good terms, because she thought he hated her for leaving him behind, but actually he still loved her and all that stuff, so... And then I made a Platonic Soulmates. And then I ended up making, I put all of those into one big playlist that I just called Leza from this date to this date, and gave her, a little description and everything, so I would have... So that was 8 hours and 53 minutes was the total.
I felt like it was so much longer.
It did seem so much longer, but then when we were talking about it, I was like, well, I vividly remember it was only 9 hours long, because someone was, going on a trip, and I said, and they were the drive was 9 hours. And I said, I have a 9-hour long playlist of my D&D character, if you want to listen to that. I don't remember who that was, but I sent it to someone to do that. And they were like, oh, okay, great. That's also crazy that you have a 9-hour playlist. And I was like, oh, that's just for her.
Yeah, that's
not
like
even
for
the
one
other
character.
500 characters that I have in here. So, because I have so many more. But I have, like, your playlist. Some of yours are in here as well, because
they all have to be in a folder together.
Yeah, especially once you started giving me permission to add to your playlist.
That's the best. If your DM likes music, give them access to your Spotify playlist and let them just put some songs on there, because it doesn't tell you when they do that. And sometimes you're just listening to your character playlist and you're like, wait, what does this mean? And then why is this song on here? And honestly, it's like my favorite thing, and I'm just listening to it on shuffle, and all of a sudden I'm like, I've never heard the song, and I have to like look up the lyrics, be like, oh no, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, so because now all my friends know that I make playlists all the time and I'm halfway decent at it, so now they're like, oh, this is my character. Especially if I'm playing in a game with them, I know their character pretty well at that point, so then I'll just like text them songs over and over again.
Do you have access to Amari's playlist?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, no, it's right here.
Oh, okay, so yes, you do?
The answer is yes.
Okay, cool.
I do.
So now you can add stuff on there.
I have added stuff to it, so.
Yeah, usually my playlists are more than 50% songs that she has added to my character's playlist. Which,
yeah, because you can see, which I do like that Spotify does now, it actually shows you have 23 songs on this playlist and I have 13.
Oh, that's nice.
It actually breaks it down for you. So you have more.
I have more.
Amari's. And by Amari's, I mean Grandma's Haunted China Cabinet. Actual name of the playlist.
A great name for a playlist.
Yeah, so I have a D&D folder that's just all of my D&D ones.
I have a D&D folder, and within that D&D folder is a folder called Casey's Characters, and I have all of your playlists in that folder. Just in case I need to reference them for whatever reason.
I have like the campaign we just finished that I DM'd, I have a folder for both campaigns, for the Echoes and for the Tethers. Echoes, 5 playlists. Tethers, 25 playlists. You can see the exponential rate at which I was like creating more playlists.
Because also there's so many NPCs that you were
and y'all ended up playing as the NPCs, then I made playlists for every one of the NPCs.
She made me become best friends with my arch nemesis based on a playlist that she sent me. She's like, oh, here is Nira's playlist. And I listened to it and I was like, oh no, we have to be best friends now. I love her. She needs me to be her sister. I need to take care of this woman. And the whole time I was like, I can't wait to kill her. I can't wait to murder this woman.
Everyone hated her so much.
And I listened to the playlist
in the background making the most heartbreaking
and there was like
imaginable for her.
The Silver Spoon song.
Oh my gosh.
That I listened to and I was like,
good.
Nope, I'm out. I can't hate her anymore because the song, because that is exactly how my Nira felt about Nira. And I heard that song from her perspective and I was like, oh no, my life has changed.
Yeah,
and
Silver Spoon by Aaron LeCount is...
the song is so sad.
Yeah, that is really... Like, when I'm talking about, like, finding songs that are super... Like, that is Nira's song. Like, if I had to pick one song for Nira, it would be that song. It is...
Or that one song
absolutely heartbreaking.
That I found for Eve that I listened to, and I cried about your character.
The Taylor Swift song?
The Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
And I was like, it sounds like you wrote this song.
Yeah, 100%. Like, even... There were parts of that song that like you didn't even know about the character.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she said that? Like, that's crazy. Like, Taylor Swift was in my walls listening to
People are always in your walls.
People are in my walls all the time. There's too much stuff happening that I'm like, I think I came up with that first. So.
What's your most unhinged character playlist? Name. I know mine. Because everyone goes, what?
Is it?
I mean, my most unhinged one is Hey Starboy, How Do You Feel About Tentacles?
Oh, yeah.
Which is our romance playlist with my character and an NPC. Which with that character I actually have playlist for each one of her relationships and different stages of their relationship. So when they broke up, there was like the first guy, I made a playlist, and then when they broke up, I made that playlist private and made a new playlist, then sent it to the player. It was like, this is the new playlist about our relationship. And then we made one about our characters. And then she has her own playlist. And then Nira's playlist, which is very important to her.
So, if we want to go with, like...
Just some weird...
Maybe not unhinged in, like, the way you're thinking, but I think the fact that I named Eve's first playlist after a real quote that I really said to my boyfriend, I think that feels unhinged.
That is unhinged.
Which is, you chose right, but it still hurts to not be chosen.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
See, a writer at heart, I feel obligated to say things that I...
The fact that you said that out loud to a person, crazy.
Hey, we didn't end up together. In case you're wondering. Yeah, that was the first playlist for this character, because, I mean, that was the whole point, was that Silas left her, like, and she felt like he probably made the right decision, because he was scared for her life and he didn't want her to get hurt. But also,
It felt bad.
kind of sucks that you left without saying anything, you jerk. So that one's solid. I mean, I did end up renaming Surma's playlist to Astral Washboard,
That is so. I didn't know that. It's so good.
which is 10 out of 10, so good. Also, leave, but Eve is in lowercase because that
Oh.
was when Silas told her to leave. A lot of them are just clever. I feel like with the D&D ones are not as unhinged, they're just clever, like powerful couple, powerful downfall, and timeless body, fleeting morality. Like some of those, I don't know why you visit the dead. That's an actual quote my father said one time. So some of those are just fun.
Then the best playlist ever, Ghostly Gothic Grave Girls.
Ghostly Gothic Grave Girls is...
I will put a link to it in the description because the whole thing is a bop.
Yeah, it does feel like a bit of a magnum opus. That's kind of the thing with, so, you know, different people create playlists in different ways. I have such a varied sense of music. I listen to all categories, and when I say that, I legitimately mean it. Very unhinged stuff all the time. So when I make a playlist, I pretty much am exclusively focusing on lyrics and not really genre. So I'm a many words boy. I love my words to be cool and my songs to be lyrically interesting. And so that means categorically they're crazy. There's like ska and then rock and then
Which
techno.
I love that in a playlist
Yeah,
too.
so it's like but some people don't really like that. Like when I would send songs to Cash for her character playlist, she'd be like, well, the lyrics are good, but the vibe is not really his vibe. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. The
vibe
vibes
doesn't
don't matter.
It's the words. Listen
the
to
words
the
matter.
evil things I'm saying to you right now.
But Ghostly Gothic Grave Girls is both.
Yeah.
It is very genre specific and also lyric specific. So there are definitely some songs where it's like, oh, I could add this to this, but it doesn't quite fit the overall tone. And I am trying to really...
It's a good like non-character specific
harness the
playlist
tone.
too, because we didn't. Those characters didn't have like deep backstories. They were just kind of like
Yeah.
joke characters, where we were two gnomes that were like little haunted dolls that were just murderers and menaces to society.
Yeah.
And it's just like a real great
Yeah,
like
it's solid.
girly pop goth situation
Yeah,
happening.
It's 4.5 hours long, and I still every once in a while will add a new song to it when I hear something. I'm like, ooh, that actually.
It's like my whole month of October playlist as I listen to that.
It's a very good spooky time playlist.
Spooky time playlist.
I do have Crooked Star's playlist is I Am Become a Psychic Blade because of Malian Oretsev. He says like,
Oh, yeah,
I am become a blade, which is
I hate that guy.
stupidest
I hate
sentence
that guy.
ever said in the world. And
Shadow
so,
and Bone. If no one knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, just the worst male.
I hate
male main character, not even male secondary main character
love interest.
from a book that is good, but also why is he there?
Why he's there?
Why is he like that?
He's there to make Alina's life worse.
Pretty much. But at one point, he's like trying to tell her that he would do anything for her, and I am become a blade is like, did he get it tattooed on his body?
I don't know.
Like the fake Russian. Anyway, so but I felt like that's just such a funny, incorrect, like worded statement that for my like psionic blade rogue, I named her playlist I Am Become a Psychic Blade because I just thought that was hilarious. So those are probably
Your good ones.
my good. I mean, I have like River's playlist is called Everybody Lies, which is a quote from House because River is based on Dr. House. So like some things that are just like that. And then Nikki's playlist is called And a Wannabe because that's what someone referred to her as in the game, and it made me feel so sad that I named the playlist that. Which sometimes the playlist names do change if something crazy happens, and I'm like, oh well.
Well, like the one with Mynira and Silas, it became What If We Kissed Under the Red Flag, because our first kiss was under a red, first and only and last, and
yeah,
that was the end.
Never
we
again.
broke up after that kiss. Was literally under a red flag on the top of the ship. So it's like, oh, what if we kissed under the red flag? Which is what I wrote in my notes whenever I was thinking about doing that. And then it ended badly.
It ended really, really badly.
And honestly, a great playlist name. And Everyone's Gay for a Girl with a Sword.
Yes, I have that in here of one of yours, yeah.
That one's also a good one because everyone is gay for a girl with a sword. I don't care what your gender is. And then my personal trauma playlist, which is like songs that remind me of my childhood and my life, is called Now That's What I Call Trauma 1989. I think it's great. Yours is like
Juicy Lore Drops.
Juicy Lore Drops of your your playlist.
Yeah.
It's so much fun to make playlists for your characters.
Yeah, highly recommend for your characters. And also just, playlist in general. We can also link to my folder that is the Creation Crafted, which is all songs that I've collected into categories that are for you to use when making your D&D character playlist. So I have Time, spelled with Y, obviously. That one's time-based songs. Tragedy Candle, that's volcanoes. Good Evening, It's the Moon, that's moon-based. Let There Be Sunlight, that's about sun and light. Vague Water Metaphors, that's water. Some of them don't have names yet. Flora and Fauna, that's like druid stuff. See You in My Dreams, all dream songs. Run Along, all run songs. Forget Me Not, all forgetting and memory related. Starstruck, all stars. Gambler's Fallacy, everything about gambling. Just stuff like that. And so I have a whole folder with all of those within it, so that if people
There's more
are like,
playlists in that folder than I have made on my own in my life.
yeah. So if you're like, oh, my character like is Caleb Widowgast and uses a lot of fire spells, well, I have a 2.5 hour long playlist that's just songs about fire and flames and all that stuff. So you can listen through it or click through it if you have a specific vibe you're going for and you don't like just lyrics, and you can add one of those to your playlist. So, and I've been adding the little images. So that they
is
look
that what you
cuter.
were working
That's what I
on?
was working on today. I was like, oh, I need more of these to have little graphics. So I can link to that too.
Illustrator,
so,
please.
yeah, so you guys can have.
I'll figure out how to do that.
Which is why I like created that folder, because I had all of those categories, and I was like, really, most of these are categorically like OC character playlist vibes. And I have more, like I have a whole playlist about being alive, and I have a vampire playlist, and I have Car Crash.
That's true. Car Crash.
I have a lot. Subterranean Arboretum, if you like.
It's a
folk.
good name. That was for Juno.
That was for Juno. Shout out Juno. So yeah, just, I mean, like I said, if once a third song comes into my mind that could fit in a category, I make a playlist for it. And that's why there's like 270 of them. So, well, there's your Now That's What I Call Trauma. I need to get rid of the ones that I didn't make. Those are gonna...
Scroll.
Scroll. So my earliest, my earliest one I actually technically made was No Wrong Answer Except Gravity, which is all songs about gravity.
That's not on your curated?
I know that should go into my creation craft. And some of these I think could, like, I have Carry On, all songs that have the words carry on in them. That's my, so I guess this is kind of like my like songs. I have my potpourri playlist, which is the one of just songs I find that I like, but they don't fit into a playlist yet. And it's 19 hours long. So whenever I am making a new playlist, I'll go dig through the potpourri playlist to add any of those. So Come Home, that's all ones about have home in them. Joy, those all have joy in them. Link Start, those are all from video games. Souls Don't Grow on Trees, it's just a great name. Personified Rats, that's all songs by animals. Open Eyes and Hearts, every song that says open your eyes or open your heart or open the eyes of my heart, Lord, the classic Christian song.
They all get put on there.
I have my Raishan, so I also make a lot of playlists for characters that I cosplay.
Oh yeah.
So that I have music to listen to while I'm making the costume. So I have like Raishan from Critical Role, her playlist is called The World's Not Wide Enough, which is based on the Hamilton musical parody that's Critical Role, because the song she sings is The World's Not Wide Enough.
Until recently you had never seen Hamilton and you'd only seen the parody.
I only knew the parody, and so then I watched Hamilton for the first time. I was very confused because all the songs are in a different order, and they're so much less serious. Like, a song that Keyleth is singing about, like, the dragons are murdering everyone and they're having to run for their lives, and the real song in Hamilton is like, I wish this guy would love me, and he's not gonna marry me. And I'm like, that's what we're singing about in this musical? We're not even
some
singing
people
about...
think that's serious.
That's not serious. And, like, yeah, it's crazy. So, one of my favorites is The Flaming Cups of Baghdad. I just think that's a great title. I once was at a church service, and a guy did a magic trick, and he called it The Flaming Cups of Baghdad, and so I made a playlist. The Room Can't Hold My Storm Cloud. I think that's a Critical Role quote. But that's songs that have a lot of lyrics, but not necessarily are rap. They're just songs that have lots of words in them. 2 Days to Darkness, that's the one that's all days of the week. Alive, it's all about being alive. Duck Hunting, Sex, and Murder, that's all my country songs. Because all that country is about. The Dangerous Side of the Ice Cream Shop, that's my Alice in Wonderland playlist. Don't ask why. I don't really have a good explanation. Box of Trees, that's all folk. Hot Glued Cornflakes, that's all like hard rock. That's a Homestar Runner reference for the real ones out there. No Kites Beyond This Sign, that's a playlist for my best friend Kelly. Crooked Lips Club, that's all songs where the title or main purpose of the song is like a woman's name.
So specific. I could never in my life.
And you have like The Wraith, that's my playlist about Inej from...
Shadow and Bone?
No.
Well,
Six of Crows.
Shadow and Bone. the TV show.
Yeah.
And then Six
That's my
Across
one
the
for her.
book.
Applesauce Meow Meow, that's for Catra when I was making her. I have a sweater hidden in Manhattan. That's all music about clothing items. It just seems crazy when I say it out loud.
It does. That's her, making her say these out loud so she can heal herself somehow.
Yeah. Phantasmal and Resplendent, that's about Loop from the Adventure Zone. And then He's Good Out Here is
about
Taco
Taco
from the Adventure Zone.
I do like your Oil and Water playlist from Arcane for
For Vi and
for Vi and Caitlin.
Yeah. Story and Song, that's all songs about stories.
Songs about stories and songs.
Yeah. I have 2 Similarities playlists. I have Similarities. Why? I don't know, there's hilarious that they're called this. Similarities Christian Edition and Similarities Pagan Edition, as in just they're not Christian. So if 2 songs have the same title or a similar, like they're about a similar thing, I put both of them back to back in the playlist. And honestly, I haven't looked at those in a long time. There's probably some bangers on there that I've forgotten about. And then, in Similarities Christian versus Pagan, which is where 2 songs, one of them is Christian and one of them is not Christian. And they have similar titles and similar ideas, which is great. We have Gibberish, which is all songs that have made-up words in them. Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies, that's all songs about death. I should add that to the Creation Crafted.
Yeah, you should.
Chew Your Purple, it's all about colors.
And then there's a playlist every year when we go to TRF, which is whatever someone said, like whoever's name. So like mine is Jerry Said Moths, because I decided we were going to be moths that year. So the playlist is called Jerry Says Moths.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of those that I make every time for that. My Azula playlist was just called Azula, which is a crime.
That's a crime.
Should change
and
something.
and Lucy Graybeard, like.
I know some of them are bad. Sad ? That's it. That's all it says. I Want to Roleplay Fish and Chips. That's all songs about food. Who made, where from, what for? That's a Critical Role quote that Jester said in a sending message, I'm pretty sure. But it's all songs that are questions in the title. Addiction is just about being addicted. I should come up with a better title for that one. Good Vibes. That's just ones that make me happy when I listen to them. Yeah, there's Jerry Said Moths. From Dusk Map Till Dawn, that's my vampire playlist because I played on a Killer Queen vampire team, and we had a pun name, which was from Dusk Map Till Dawn. The Spoiler of the Redacted. That's one of my favorite titles, I feel like.
It's a good one.
Do you know what it is?
Is that's your Adventure Zone playlist?
No.
Oh.
It is the playlist I built while I was building the cosplay for Aragorn, because the name of the movie/book is The Return of the King, which is a spoiler for what happens in the book/movie.
Oh.
But they made Tolkien name it that because they were like, he didn't want to name the book that, but they made him name it that. So I named the playlist The Spoiler of the Redacted.
Oh, I didn't know
so
that.
It was like,
I don't think I saw the playlist title.
Don't think about this spoiler.
I didn't care about spoilers back then.
Wake Up, there's all songs about waking up. Radio, all songs about the radio. I should come up with better names for those. So many. Space, that one needs a better name.
I mean, Big Bummerfly Energy, a classic.
Big Bummerfly Energy.
It's also what my emo playlist is called.
Oh no, that's my Ecclesiastes playlist. Ecclesiastes is my favorite book of the Bible, which says a lot about me because it's a really depressing book.
I don't know what that means.
It is a book about the most wise and powerful man in the world who spends all of his days chasing down something to make him happy, and every time he fails because there is no happiness in life outside of God. So that is what the playlist is about. And really that's when I discovered that Zen, my D&D character, was like the most ecclesiastical character I'd ever made.
That's wild. It's a wild statement.
Isn't that wild? You came here for hard-hitting information, which is you should make your D&D characters have weird biblical undertones. You probably are without realizing.
Oh, yeah.
If you were raised in the Bible Belt, you're for sure doing it on accident. But I did it on accident, and then like 3 of the songs for her playlist, I went, I think these songs are just about Ecclesiastes in the Bible, and then I made an Ecclesiastes playlist, which has some bangers in it. The Waffle House at the End of the Universe.
Waffle House playlist.
Waffle House playlist. You don't have a Waffle House playlist?
Waffle House they have music.
They do, actually. You should listen to the Waffle House songs. They are crazy.
The Jonas Brothers have a Waffle House song.
They do.
And it's just called Waffle House by Jonas. It is kind of a bop.
It is kind of a bop. There's some wild ones.
First time I posted it, I think it was Jason, was like, I didn't know the Jonas Brothers had this song. I was like, it is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yelling in Your Car is Free Therapy. That's like all songs that are just yelling. So if you're like driving home late at night and you need to stay awake, you just put on that playlist and just scream. It's awesome. I highly recommend. Post Tenebras Lux, which is Latin for After Darkness Comes Light. So it's all songs that refer to that. There's at least 3. I think I only have like 4. Oh, there's way more on here.
There's
than
a lot
I
of
thought.
songs
I take it all back. I have so many on here actually. But it only took 3, which was the 3 that I really actually knew were Post Dinner Brass Lux, that's actually the name of the song by Atlas, and then Darkness Before the Dawn by Caleb Hyles, and then everyone's favorite, Darkness Turns to Light, the opening theme from Beyblades. If you haven't heard, it's by Our Last Night, which you know them.
I don't.
I don't know
them.
You know them.
I don't know
I know for a fact you know them. They do like rock covers of a lot of stuff, so you've definitely heard some of their covers.
I'm sure you've put some of their songs on my playlist.
I have. And they did the theme song for a Beyblade show, and it's actually
the Hot Wheels
really
playlist.
solid.
The Hot Wheels. That's such a good.
If you're not listening to the Hot Wheels soundtrack, they're actually coming out with a new album. It just came up on Spotify. Like, you want to pre-save the new Hot Wheels album? Yes, I do.
It's
because the last
really
one
good.
is really good. If you're not listening to Hot Wheels, you should be listening.
I
to
care absolutely nothing about Hot Wheels, but it's a really awesome playlist.
Yeah, I have. Oh, the Pronoun Shuffle.
Oh yeah,
that's the one. That one I actually did go to oddly specific playlists on Facebook to ask for help to find more, which is songs where. Most likely in the chorus, because the chorus is repeated, but as the choruses go on, the pronouns are shifted. So, like, maybe in the first chorus they say, like, me, and then in the next chorus they say you, and then the last chorus they say us, but it's, like, the same words, but the pronouns
things that
change.
I would never commit to memory of, like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure I know that it happens, but I'm not like, haha, a connection!
A connection! Onto a playlist it goes! So, you know...
I have a different flavor of autism, and it's not this.
Yeah, Tequila Drunk on the Beach. That's the one.
The playlist. I said, I need a playlist that I'm going on a cruise over Halloween. Make me a playlist. And it was Tequila Drunk on the Beach, but make it spooky.
Mm-hmm. Thunderwave and the Leech. You don't get to know what that one's about.
That one's a secret.
But Jerry knows. You get to decide who is the Thunderwave and who is the Leech. You know. You know who's who. Seasons Change. That's all ones that have seasons in them. Rave on the Mount of Transfiguration. That's
a good title.
Like Christian rave songs. There's more than you think. The Faceless Old Woman's Radio in Your House. That is songs I think are the vibe of the faceless old woman who secretly lives in your home from Welcome to Night Vale. Sorry, it's not Muse or Fall Out Boy. That was my playlist I made for Cass.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Cass, because she wanted me to make her a playlist. Car Crash is there. Wordplay. Okay, Wordplay. I think about this way too much, guys. Is this interesting information? It's not. Wordplay
Either way, we've talked about it for 42 minutes.
Songs that the end of the sentence and the beginning of the next sentence are the same word. You know what I mean? Where, like, one... So, like...
You'd have written so much poetry in, like, the 1800s.
So much poetry. So, basically, like... I'm trying to think of actual...
Like, you're gonna, like, try to find some lyrics?
Yeah, what's the lyric from this one that it does this?
The fact that counts as a category in your brain is insane.
Okay, so in this song, the words are, gotta circle yes or no, knowing that I'm right. But he says it as, gotta circle yes or knowing that I'm right. He, like, makes the two align together into the next line. I notice these things. If you're a songwriter out there, I'm paying attention. It's me that's paying attention to you. So then
you're the one person.
So all those go into a category where the words overlap, and they become into. Because I think it's really clever. That's why it's called wordplay. I like words. People are doing good stuff with words out here, and I appreciate your words. So I'm also saying all this. If you know a song that fits in one of these categories, you better email us at contact at fivesidedfates.com so I can add to these playlists.
Just send us every weird playlist you have, so that we can look at it.
You Had Me in the First Half. That's a song where there's, like, parallelism in it, where the beginning half of the beginning, usually, like, the first verse and the second verse are, like, identical but opposite. So maybe, how do I describe this? Another one where it's like, how do you describe this? So, like, the one I have in here is A Country Road in 2 Seasons by Atlas, where the beginning half of the song, he's talking about, like, being in a world that's really, really sad, and everything he passes is, like, really a bummer, and, like, the trees are all dying and all this stuff. But then the second verse, it's, like, the exact same description, but everything is positive. So it's like, now I'm passing, like, beautiful waters, and the trees are luscious, and the grass is growing, and it's, like, taking 2 roads, and one is, you know, so, stuff like that, where it's, like, I really like parallels in literature. Like, I think parallelism is, like, my favorite form of literature allegory. I don't know, guys. I'm not actually as smart as I'm making myself out to be. So I have a playlist of that. It only has 4 songs on it, so I need more parallels in songs. but I do like them. And then, yeah, Subterranean Arboretum, that was made for Juno. Teeth Romance, that was made for Ben.
So good. And sometimes she puts songs on playlists for me, and I listen to them, and I get a completely different context out of them than she does. Like, you sent me you put one on the Surma playlist, and I was like, you sent me a really sexy song, and you're like, oh, is that song about sex? And I'm like, yes, it is. And you're like, that's not how I heard it.
To it. I think it was also, I put a Dark Lena song on there, like a Darkling and Lena song from Shadow and Bone, and you were like, this is, and I was like, oh, now that I listened to it more than once, it totally is that. Absolutely, that's what that was written for. It had stars in it, and so I put it in there because of their stars.
You're like, I'm too asexual for this.
I don't notice. We had a long-standing relationship of me being like, is this song about sex? And you're like, yes, it for sure is. And I'm like,
most songs are.
A lot are. That is true.
If they're not Christian songs, they're about sex.
It's true. Even some of the other... I thought about this the other day also while I was driving, because one of the albums I've been listening to a lot has a song on it that I believe, if you read into it enough, it's about like lust and him cheating on his wife. Or I'm trying to decide if that's what it's about or not. But then I was like, man, there's another song I really like that's about that, and maybe I should make a playlist about cheating. There's probably a lot of good songs.
There's so many good songs.
They're all country.
Yeah.
But like songs about like wanting to, because it's something I don't have any opinion on, because I've never had a desire for a person. I've definitely never had a desire for a different person than the one person I was with, which seems like a crazy thing to do. So the idea that there's so many songs about it because people struggle with it so much, that's why I have an addiction playlist, because I'm like, fascinating to hear what people have to say about that when I've never experienced that.
Wild.
Yeah. Playlists are great, guys. Music is awesome. You should...
I used to say I didn't like music, but I realized what I didn't like was just like music specifically that was played on the radio a lot. Like most of that music I didn't like, but now that you send me all these weird things, like I've never heard of any of this stuff.
There's so much music in the world. Like when I made that playlist for Cass for her birthday, and she told me like, oh, my favorite bands are Muse, Fall Out Boy, and I like musicals. That's like the only parameters I was given. So I went through every song I had ever heard that I felt like was similar-ish to Muse and Fall Out Boy, and a few songs that sound like they could be in a musical, but they're not, and made that playlist. And when I gave it to her, she was like, I've never heard of any of these bands that are on this. Like, how do you have 100 songs on this playlist and I've never even heard of them? Like, there are so many. Which I should have asked you this, but do you know what band you listen to that has the least listeners on Spotify?
I know. I'm sure it's someone that you sent me.
Someone that I sent you. I discovered the other day. I was talking about it with someone, and I was like, well, I've really been into this band called Road Movie that I discovered out of the blue because they had a song called Remember I. So when I was making my Remembering Forgetting playlist for Eve, I discovered this band. And I usually don't look at how many listeners a band has on Spotify. I know I listen to a lot of obscure bands, but even like really obscure bands I know still have
sometimes thousands. It's a surprising number of
like more than you would think. Like even my friend who makes music on Spotify has a decent chunk of listeners. And so I went to go back to Road Movie's thing to look at their other albums. They have 39 monthly listeners. And I'm one of them. I am one of 39. That seems crazy to me. How did I find this band?
Just the internet.
And they've made like 3 albums. They just released a single like not that long ago. So you should listen to Road Movie. This is my advertisement for their music. Is just fun.
Not sponsored, but
their vibes are good.
I think it was my underwater ghost punching playlist. And I was like, I need a playlist, and I need to be like sea shanty rock, but also I hate my parents. Mm-hmm. And you like 20 minutes later gave me like a 4-hour long playlist. So I was like, these are the greatest songs I've ever heard in my life that I had never heard before. And now some of my favorite bands are on that playlist, and I'm like, I didn't know music like this existed.
Yeah,
sea shanty rock. That's my vibe.
Yeah, everything is out there. Everything you could want is out there. Sometimes you just have to really hunt for it. And I think that's something that a lot of people who say like, oh, I don't like music, or I don't really listen to a lot of music, I think I'm
an audiobook girly, not really music girly.
They just listen to what's on the radio, or I mean, we used to have, I guess, like MTV, and you would get stuff from that. Like, we don't have that anymore. But I think you're just not putting in the effort of like digging for music. And I understand that that's not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone wants to, like, they just want to, oh, Taylor Swift has a new album, I'm going to listen to that. Who else is popular? Billie Eilish.
Hot take,
Sabrina
last
Carpenter.
Taylor Swift album, the worst.
I didn't like it.
The worst one. Didn't like it at all. It never grew on me. And I used to be a big Swiftie, and
it was not my favorite.
It was not.
So.
Sorry, Cortland. It wasn't good.
Sorry, Cortland. Yeah, I didn't think it was that great, but I mean, I was an old Taylor Swift fan.
Yeah, you're like a country
in her
Taylor
country era.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm like a
pop,
red era
Yeah,
Taylor
the more
Swift.
pop she got, the less interested I got. But I did like Summer Reputation
The one before
and
the Tortured Poets Department, I didn't like at first, and it grew on me.
Yeah, there's
the
a
one
handful
before
from that I
that.
like.
What was the one before that? Midnights. I liked Midnights.
Yeah, I haven't listened to a lot of Midnights.
There's a lot on Theo's playlist.
Yeah, and I never listened to Folklore and Evermore.
Oh, I like those ones.
Which I probably like.
I discovered I like folk music.
Yeah,
I didn't know that I did, but
I
I really like folk music.
I remember asking my friend Kelly, who she's a big like folk and surf rock. I feel like are the genres she listens to a lot, and I remember saying, "Oh, do you listen?" Because I think we were listening to one of my playlists. It had a couple of Taylor Swift songs on there. She asked me, "Do you listen to a lot of Taylor Swift?" I said, oh, "Not consistently, but some of her songs do fit onto playlists I have." So then I listen to those.
She has a lot of good lyrics that sometimes fit characters.
Yeah, so then I'll put them on characters. And I was like, "Oh, do you listen to her at all?" She's like, "Oh, not really." I was like, "What about like Folklore and Evermore? Since you listen to a lot of folk?" And she said, why would I listen to folk by someone who's not very good at it when I can listen to actual folk artists?" And I was like, "Hey, true, I guess." So then I kind of never listened to those albums because she said that.
There's like a couple.
So, but there might be good songs there. I've heard. What's the sad one? All of them.
Taylor Swift. They're all sad.
They're all sad.
The one with Bon Iver is my favorite.
That's the one I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's because that one's on Alina's playlist.
Yes, it's on. Yeah.
I think it's on Alina's. playlist.
Yeah, it's on someone's. And I think it might be on one of my character playlists too. My brain said Cardigan, which is one of the songs. I couldn't tell you what that song is, but my brain knew that there was a song called
That's
Cardigan.
probably on your clothing playlist.
It probably is on my clothing playlist. Does it talk about cardigans in it?
Yes.
Okay, then it probably is. So, but yeah, What's your favorite categories of music? Give me some genres. What's your most listened to genres?
I am an emo kid. I still listen to like early 2000s emo music. Almost, that's like what I go to, like, Fall Out Boy and Paramore and all that stuff. And then musicals. I love show tunes. Specifically, I love Disney music. I'm a Disney adult.
You do listen to.
I love Disney music.
I do not of my own free will listen to Disney music.
I love Disney music. I'm sorry.
When I'm not watching the movie.
I go to Disney World. Kill me. I don't know. I took you to Disney World.
You did. The most Disney music I listen to is the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack.
Which is barely Disney. What do you mean?
It's barely Disney.
But yeah.
But it has like Alice in Wonderland.
So my favorite songs are the like Disney Goes Punk or Disney Goes
those
pop,
are
like those
solid.
like the covers of Disney songs. I have a bunch of those on my character playlist because then they still have like the lyrics of the Disney songs that I like, but then it sounds more like emo and it's
was it Hawk Nelson Stellar Cart that did Kiss the Girl. That's a great punk version of
There's
Kiss
also
the
sea shanty rock Under the Sea.
Yes, that's by the Melodica Bros. Isn't that the one I gave you?
Yeah,
I think it's by the Melodica
It's so
Bros.
good.
That one is solid.
And then there's a like pop punk cover of a song from Moana whose name escapes me right now. That was really good, and I replaced the actual song with that one on my playlist because I was like, oh, the song this way is better.
Yeah, I do kind of try to have I don't know why, but if it's a really, really popular song that I want to put on one of my playlists, I try to find a cover of it instead. Which I don't know necessarily why. Maybe it's just it feels old. Like everyone's heard "Carry On My Wayward Son" by Kansas. What if I found this by a different person? And so then I usually try to do that. But then it kind of makes me sad sometimes when there's not one.
Yeah.
Like there's not a cover by really this song is so popular
that no one's ever
covered it. That seems crazy, actually.
I still need the song that you wrote for me on Spotify. I need you to record. Now we have all this recording equipment.
Oh, that's true. We do have recording equipment
you should record
and a Spotify account. So.
You should play your ukulele and sing that song. I'm sure you have the lyrics still written on your notebook somewhere.
I have like a notebook stuffed in my ukulele case, which I think is where that one is. I mean, I have all my songs from Zen too.
That's true. We can create a whole album, guys. I'm sure you want to hear that. Our voices are so beautiful.
I cannot for the life of me sing.
Your range is like this.
My range is a little bit too low and really not anywhere else. It is not good in any way, shape, or form. I did karaoke for the first time.
Oh, that's true. You're like, I finally have a karaoke song.
Yeah, and I did.
No person alive has ever heard me sing.
And I did a song from K-pop Demon Hunters.
Which surprised me. You said, this is my range. I'm like...
I think only that one, because the girls were like, oh, you should do Golden. I was like, I definitely can't sing Golden. That one is hard, but I did the one at the end.
Yeah, this is what it sounds like?
This is what it sounds like, because it is...
Yeah, because it's deeper.
There are no high notes in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's really right, so I sang that one, and I was like, oh, I can actually sing that one. Not good.
But it's in your range.
But it's in my range, so it's not the worst. And that would be something that would probably be available on most karaoke
yeah.
stuff now, since we pretty much all were just doing like country and Disney music.
Country music is like, if I was forced to sing at gunpoint, I would pick a country song because I feel like that's the most comfortable place for me to sing. Is like with a slight country accent, because I grew up, my grandparents only listened to country music. I didn't know other music existed until I was like 11, when I started hanging out with like my childhood best friend Amanda, and her family was like a classic rock family, and I was like, oh, there's other genres of music. I didn't know these things existed, so I default to country music.
Yeah.
Not of my own free will, but I don't know.
I mean, that's the problem with like karaoke to me, is I listen to so much music, but
Most of that is not.
they're not going to be on that.
Yeah.
Like, my brother made the joke like, oh, you should do Dead Stick by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I was like, that is not going to be on karaoke.
No.
And it wasn't. I mean, why would it be? Why would any song by King Gizzard be on that? But I was like, if it was on there, I would sing it. I probably is not in my range, but I would have sang it because it's such an unhinged song. But it was hard to find a song that I feel like is in my range and popular enough that would be on a karaoke machine.
See, I think I have a great range. I just am so scared. I'm so shy and introverted that I can't allow myself to sing if other people are around.
You gotta be committed. I'm like I would sing at the drop of a hat, and even though I'm bad at it. Like, if you said right now, let's start singing, I would start singing something.
Like, I get secondhand embarrassment from listening to other people that I know sing. Like, whenever you would play music as Zint, like, I can't look at you because I feel like if I was doing this, I'd be so embarrassed that I would die. I don't know, you don't feel that way, so I don't want to give you those vibes. I'm just gonna, no eye contact.
And it's like, and I did feel slightly nervous just because, like, I'm also playing an instrument. I'm not good at playing instruments. I'm like really having to focus to not screw up the whole time. But yeah, it doesn't really make me, I definitely grew up, my dad is a big like sing in the car guy, and so he would always force me to sing in the car with him, even though I was not good at it. And so now I just feel,
I mean, I sang around my
like
grandparents because when I was really young, like when I was like 2, 3, 4 years old, I wanted to be a country singer until I like,
who didn't
have, then I developed self-awareness and it was like, oh, absolutely not, no one is ever going to hear me sing. So basically just my grandparents have heard me sing, and that's about it, and they are no longer alive, so
yeah,
I sing only when I'm alone. I sing a lot and really loud.
Yeah, I just think like singing and like dancing, I feel like are both put in categories where we as people are like, you're only allowed to participate in this if you're good,
I feel like
and
that's
if not, you
most
shouldn't. And that's stupid.
artistic expressions.
Singing and dancing is fun.
Yeah.
You should do that if you enjoy it.
I used to really like to dance, and I just don't do it anymore, and we should actually go swing dancing. We even talked about going swing dancing.
So I talked to my cousin about it, because my cousin does a lot of country dancing when I saw him this week.
I used to line dance all the time as a kid.
And he said there's a new dance hall that just opened up in the Colony that does, like, country dancing and swing dancing, and I was like, oh, that's much better than the swing dancing place I went to in Deep Ellum. Which
yeah,
is why I don't
want to go to Deep Ellum
because it's in too sketchy of an area. But he said that one now does swing dancing, and the one that's close to us, it's kind of over by the clothing store that we sold our clothes to.
Indie Clover.
Indie Clover. It's kind of over.
Shout out to Indie Clover.
Shout out to Indie Clover. It's kind of over in that area. It's called like Maverick Cadillac Horseshoe, something. It's called something. I can look it up.
Okay, put that on your playlist names for your
and they
Cadillac Maverick Horseshoe.
He said they have like a line dancing night where it's like pretty much just line dancing. He said, but everyone who's not line dancing is swing dancing. He's like, so if you showed up, there would probably be people there who would swing dance with you if you didn't want to line dance. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll come to that because it's close. But I thought about looking up the one in the Colony and seeing if they have like a lessons and dance after, which is my favorite way to do swing dancing, because then everyone at least knows some moves if, you know,
I used to line dance so much as a kid because that was like in the early 90s, and they would just like let kids into bars all the time. And so my country playlist is called line dancing at 6 years old, because like that's all I used to do is like, ooh, line dancing with my aunts.
Well, they do line dancing lessons now, like on Wednesdays at that place, so if you ever want to go,
I need to go
do line dancing, because I also enjoy line dancing. I didn't really grow up doing that.
But we're at 1 hour this time. Last time it only lasted 20 minutes. Why is it lasting an hour now? Who knows?
I don't know. So does that mean we need to wrap up this
episode?
We have been talking for too long. Moral of the story.
Music is good.
Music is good. Make playlists. If you don't have a diverse music taste, find someone in your life who does.
You have one person.
Does, and then they can give you more in life to add to your...
And helps you connect with your D&D character, which is what we're all rapping about into. Play D&D.
Play D&D. Make playlists for your characters. Become a little bit too obsessed with your characters.
Find a friend that will make the playlist for you because you're lazy.
And it brings me a lot of joy to do it, so...
You do like making playlists.
Literally, speaking of swing dancing, I was swing dancing one time, and a guy was asking me to swing dance, and I was like, sorry, I have to put the song that's playing right now on a Spotify playlist, or else I'm going to forget to do it, and then we can dance. And that is a true story, and that really happened.
Well,
you know,
that was an hour about playlists.
Okay, what's our call off?
I don't know. Just say,
as we always say, and we have to say something. So what are we always saying? Let's decide on something.
We both have to say something at the same time.
Oh, we have to just hope we say the same thing?
Yep.
We're not gonna plan it?
Nope.
What are we?
I don't.
What are you gonna say?
And as we always say, keep on dancing.
Make more playlists. Huzzah.
Cut. This is the cut. We're cutting.